4 years ago, right before I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, I had a dream where I was upstairs in a bedroom and suddenly a snake came flying through the window. It's like it catapulted its body onto the bed. And I knew that I was going to have to take care of that snake. It had a forked tongue. And there were other women in the room with me, and I knew that they too were going to tune into that snake and figure out how to feed it. A few days after that dream, I received my diagnosis and found out that I would have to go through months of chemotherapy and really a year of treatments. And then a couple days after that, I was hiking in Laguna Canyon and a rattlesnake crossed my path. I felt so reassured by the dream and when I saw the rattlesnake, because since ancient times, snakes have been symbols of transformation and healing. In ancient times, there were temples to Asclepius, who was the god of healing and medicine, and he had a deep connection to snakes. And people would travel for many days on foot to reach these temples in search of healing. These pilgrims would come, and when they arrived to the temples, they would go through rituals. They would go through fasting and purification and massage and music therapy and all forms of healing modalities. And then at some point, there would be a person with psychic gifts who would read them, and they would see if they were ready to go into the abaton to have a dream. And the abaton was a place, a lower part of the temple. Back then it was understood, it was known that the healing of the body and the healing of the soul could actually happen during the dream time. And so there would be these pilgrims, and they would be psychically read to see if they were ready to go into the abaton, and if so, they would be sent down there to dream. And if a snake came into their dreams, then it was known that healing would happen, or that healing had already happened. And some sources say there were even snakes living in the abaton with the pilgrims who were dreaming. So when I had that dream about the snake and then the snake visitation in the canyon, I knew that I was going to be okay. I knew that there was poison in my body. I knew there was poison in chemotherapy, and there was poison in the rattlesnake. But I knew that all of that was going to be transformed and that it would move through me. If we go back to my dream, the snake came suddenly through the window, just as the diagnosis came suddenly into my life and changed my life. And then there were these women there who were going to help me tune into the snake, how to take care of it. Part of the reason I think that the healing journey happened for me is that I had been living kind of isolated. And that shifted as my friends and a circle of women came to support me and help me heal during the cancer journey. It's like the women in the dream became the women in my life who they would tune into me as the snake and figure out how to feed me, both figuratively and metaphorically. It was one of the great blessings of my life that I allowed people to support me, and I allowed other people to come into my life so that I left that journey having a much fuller life. Ancient Greece has always spoken to me, and that's why the Asclepius and the snake, having the dream and seeing the snake in the canyon, could reassure me so deeply and speak to my soul. So I know it may be different from you because the archetypes that I carry are different than the archetypes that you carry. But what isn't different is that your psyche loves you, and your psyche wishes only the best for you. And she companions you, and she will meet you wherever you are in your life. And so it's so important to pay attention to what symbols come into your dreams. and what synchronicities happen, just as I dreamt of the snake and then encountered the snake in the canyon. That's where there's a marriage between synchronicity, between our dreaming self and our waking life. And it's in that field, it's in that marriage that our mystical life is created. And it's within the mystical realm that we find our faith, that miracles can happen, and we discover all that we are. I just want to say that snakes are not always about illness. It is often true that people have dreams about snakes that are simply like a healing sign that transformation is coming, that rebirth is coming. Because snakes shed their skin, that's why they hold that symbology of rebirth. All of us can access the collective unconscious through our dreams. The snake has had meaning across time, space, and culture, and so that is often what happens with dream symbols. So again, pay attention to who visits you in your dreams and who visits you in waking life, and deepen into the meaning of those visitations. Thank you.